Good morning, sir. Good morning, Rahul. Very good presentation. The only point I have, as the starting of the presentation, you mentioned that hundreds of farmers. I believe it's not hundreds of farmers. The strength of the vehicle itself is more than 1,000. So it's tens of thousands of farmers.
See, the farm, practically I speak, I'm living in Ambala and Shambhu border is just 3 kilometers from my house. I know there are 14 to 15,000 farmers and more than 1,500 tractors there. But usually we, in presentation and all, we just present like hundreds of farmers. So it was just a miss.
To dispute assume वो figure में जो है he could have said thousands.
Just it's just a typing mistake.
नहीं टाइपिंग नहीं बोलने में हो गया सौयों है हजारों है ठीक है.
I had a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, please don't call me ma'am. I'm just 22. It's okay. So, is it really feasible? The PDP scheme. Is it really feasible to keep paying money to the farmers? If we continue with this, like, is it a temporary measure, or in case there's a shortage of funds, do we like withdraw from the other subsidies we offer to the farmers? What's how do we balance this? Is what I had a doubt about it.
See, ma'am, in my opinion, it depends upon the government whose their priority is, because government has reduced a lot in corporate taxes, and if government did not had reduced that corporate taxes, then government was having adequate funds to provide the MSP and all. So it depends upon whose their priority is, farmers or corporate sector, because we know that government do not have that much money that they can satisfy everyone. So it's the priority, because PDP scheme is feasible because 50% government, central government will pay, 50% state government will pay, and the demand supply, farmer will get their profits. They will also get MSP farm, because if we look at our population, we looked in the data that 54% population is involved in farm sector. So we need to consider them as well. All the agri economists are saying that just depend upon the government who is their priority, farmers or corporate sector, because corporate sector tax is 1.5 lakh crore every year and it's increasing day by day. So it depends upon the government.
Yeah, Niharika, I will enter the discussion here. See, try and understand. He gave out a figure that 10 lakh crore worth of agri food grains are available for procurement. Fine. So that is the maximum figure that can get that needs to be bought. And he also brought out a figure that 1.5 lakh crore is the max figure which the government would require to spend. Now try and understand one thing. You see, government plays a lot of mischief, particularly this government. Now it gives you an indication that this 1.5 lakh crore amount is taken to procure the food grain, and then this entire food grain is burnt and destroyed. Means this money is totally gone, no? That's the feeling you get, na?
Yes.
अरे बाबा वो ले लिया तो किसी को दोगे भी, ग्रेनरी में रखोगे, एफसीआई के गोडाउन में रखोगे. So once you distribute it, if you give it at a subsidized rate, then the difference of procurement and the rate at which it is given, only that would get spent by the government.
Makes sense.
Is it making sense or not?
Yes, sir.
देख निहारिका, सिंपल लेते हैं यार. मैंने जो था 10 किलो चावल उगाया, तुम बड़ी सरकार थी, यू आर अ बिग दिस थिंग, तुमने बोला, मैंने बोला भाई आई नीडेड एश्योरेंस कि भाई मेरा क्या होगा अगर मेरा ही बिका नहीं. तो निहारिका यू सेड के मैं प्रोक्योर कर लूंगी इधर से, फिर द प्रॉब्लम. अंडरस्टूड? सो वंस यू हैव गिवन मी दैट एश्योरेंस, सो आई प्रोड्यूस दैट एंड यू बॉट इट फ्रॉम मी. Now you can sell it. Now, if you sell it at subsidized rate, then you will suffer some amount of loss, which will not be a very big deal. And there are also chances, like when you remember when this Ukraine war started, that time India was in a position to export a lot of wheat, which we could not because our own production fell. So in that contingency, the government could have benefited. Fine. There are other things that, you see, what happens is the government is very price sensitive as far as the consumption is concerned. So they keep coming out with policies like export ban. You heard those things?
Yes, I've heard of them.
है ना, wheat का export ban हो गया, rice का export ban हो गया, sugar का export ban हो गया. Now you see, try and understand the impact it will have on the farmers. Now you see, let's say you are a buyer abroad and I am a farmer, I have produced and you are depending upon me to supply you, rice at a particular rate, which we have entered the contract. Now my government has brought in this artificial intervention and it is preventing me from exporting. So will you trust me as a supplier in future?
No.
You will not, because here the government keeps playing such kind of tricks. So my trade gets affected. So whereas the government keeps giving you things like that demand and supply market forces should determine the price and MSP should not be artificially given. But here they are doing the artificial intervention to prevent the farmer from exporting. You're getting the point?
Understood.
Also,
Yes.
the point which Rahul brought out is very significant, that the farmer is selling at a wholesale price and even actually lower than that, and he is buying all his inputs at the retail prices. वो डीजल सीजल फर्टिलाइजर जो उसको देखिए, फर्टिलाइजर में सब्सिडी है, so and his normal this thing stuff he buys at retail prices, and overall situation such has he's given the data that people are in distress, which is a fact. Now where do they go? Do they not go to the government? All this कि खालिस्तानी आ गई हैं, मर्सिडीज वाले हैं and all that, that's all bullshit, यार. What is happening is that the false propaganda is influencing opinion so much, and actually this was the major reason, Niharika, I brought this thing that we should discuss it here. Because yesterday I was speaking to a student, and I speak to students individually, all of you. And at times I speak on this issue, and I found that they were getting influenced by the government's false propaganda, which is very sad.
Got it.
There are so many things. You see, Gulati is a good chap. He is very knowledgeable. He is one of the most respected persons in the field of agriculture. But he also gives a lot of things which are incorrect. Like things like, why only 23 crops? Why not others? Have the farmer said not to include them? Do you have the bullet points of what Yogendra Yadav has covered, Rahul?
Yes sir, he basically covered
नहीं,
that.
जो
He also...
आपका है बुलेट पॉइंट्स में है आपके पास स्लाइड में?
No sir, bullet point I need to see it. Just
अच्छा
give me a
नहीं है.
minute.
अच्छा देखो, अगर आपके पास है, आपने बनाया हुआ स्लाइड, तो इट विल बी वर्थवाइल प्रेजेंटिंग शोइंग दैट. In any case, Niharika, you can listen to Yogendra Yadav. It's there on YouTube. I shared with you people also. Fine, it gives out very clearly the misinformation being spread. He's exposed all the stuff.
And sir, one point I also want to say that Ashok Gulati is saying that to provide an income, then transfer 25 to 30,000 rupees per month in the farmer's bank account. So that is the income for them. Then government is saying that is not feasible for us. So sometimes Ashok Gulati figures are not practical.
Those things are there, Rahul, that point is valid. Overall, we should understand that giving these subsidies on fertilizers and various other things, they are not a good idea. And nor is this transfer of money a very great idea. Overall, we should try and get as close as possible to the functioning of the market forces and not intervene in the things. Like it would be known to, I think, all of you, since you come for this discussion on the agriculture stuff, that the biggest agriculture product is milk. And this has got this thing. There's no MSP, it's totally, on market forces. The only thing government has done, which personally I don't support, is that they did not enter into, the specific, pact and all that, through which the milk coming from New Zealand, etc., would have been cheaper than the milk produced by our producers. Fine. So that is what it is. Anyone else?
Sir, I had one question. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, as it was mentioned in the slides as well, that around 50 to 54% of the population is involved in agriculture, and it contributes only 16% to the GDP of India. So, shouldn't we divert more people from agriculture to other sectors so that the ratio of the population involved decreases? So, ultimately, it will increase the prices of the actual farmers.
Dhiren, your point is absolutely valid. It is the shit policies of this government, I'm sorry using this term, that we have had reverse migration. If you go back to our discussion on unemployment, this is a rare phenomenon. I don't think it has happened anywhere in the world. That people in COVID, they went back to agriculture, and since the government's policies could not create employment, they stayed stuck to agriculture. They did not register. They went out of the job market. Fine. So
right.
We are having a massive disguised unemployment in the agriculture sector. That's a fact. अरे भाई उनको काम नहीं है धीरेन, उनको काम नहीं है. तब तो इजराइल में लेबर प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं हम, इजराइल में जा रहे हैं, रशिया में जा रहे हैं.
Right, sir.
Are you realizing this?
Yes, sir.
That is the problem. That is the problem you people are facing. That is why people are. राहुल, कितना हरियाणा का यूथ कितना चला गया अब्रॉड? तेरे गांव के आसपास में कितने चले गए?
सर बहुत. अभी तो मतलब लाइनें लगी हुई हैं इतना ज्यादा इजराइल में. वो कहते हैं ना जो लेबर, वो स्वीपर वगैरह के लिए भी, who has done their MA, some are doing their BTech also. They are going a lot. Exact number is not available, but it's in very.
I am asking anecdotal. जो आसपास आप देखते हो गांव में, अपने आसपास, घरों के आसपास क्या हो रहा है?
हाँ सर, मतलब यह है कि हर दूसरे घर में से everyone is trying applying for visa and visa. मतलब बहुत ज्यादा वो हो गया बाहर जाने का. मैक्सिमम सभी ये है कि they are selling their lands and sending their kids outside.
What is your observation on this, Niharika? लोग जा रहे हैं, छोड़ के नहीं जा रहे?
नहीं सर.
हाँ.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you there.
Have you heard in your vicinity people leaving, young people leaving the country and going abroad?
I mean that is there, sir. But since
हाँ रावत.
Sir, I think the reason for this is that we haven't done good in the manufacturing sectors because the second phase of the economy is the manufacturing. Since when we got independence 75 years back, so across 85% of people were dependent on the agricultural sector, the economy, agricultural economy. Now we are talking about we have now still we are depend 60% of our population are dependent on the agriculture sector. So this means that we have done only 20% migration from the agriculture to the manufacturing. So still we have to move ahead, and that's why recently the former governor of RBI said that we should not focus on now on the manufacturing. We should directly shift from agriculture to the service sector to get the more employments or to settle our people in the service sectors. That is one of the solutions.
आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है. It is an absolute fact that we should not hold the present government in totality as responsible for the state of affairs. It has been going on. But the thing is that it is also a fact that you see the problem of job creation, which was promised, which was a major plank on which Modi came to power, 2 crore jobs per month and things like that. He has let down far more than any other government in recent times. The job reduction which has taken place, you see the Fauj itself. You see Fauj, you see railways. We discussed this thing. Now, Rawat, you were present, I presume.
Sorry, I just joined the...
No, not this. Previous unemployment when we spoke about.
I was not there, sorry.
You were not there. Please listen to our video. We have covered all those things. You see, basically, the problem is why I have a problem with this present government. The present government, what it has done, it has promoted the interests of the richest very, very few. And this richest very few have not brought in new technological advancements which would have increased jobs. They have taken over the assets of public sector and the smaller ones, you think SMEs and all that, they have fallen off and more share has gone in the hands of the richest.
Yes, sir.
And they have high profitability, and their profitability is high because they utilize good amount of capital and less labor.
Sir.
So, employment-wise, things have gone bad in the country. कंपटीशन कहाँ रह गया? टेलीकॉम में क्या कंपटीशन है? वोडाफोन को भी तो सरकार ने पैसा देके रिवाइव किया है.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
भाई जियो ही जियो है ना. बीएसएनएल की कमर तोड़ दी. एयरटेल बचा हुआ है एक बस.
Yes, they are basically helping companies to create the oligopoly. Basically, there are 2 or 3 companies which they are, dictating everything in the market.
Exactly, Rawat. And if anybody who studies economics knows that when you have these monopolies and oligopolies, then the customers suffer in terms of prices as also quality.
Yes, sir. Right now, if you see the recharge payments of a company like Jio, Airtel, they are on the same page. We don't have any choice to go. Either you go for the Airtel or Jio, you will find everything same.
अरे है ही नहीं ना. वही तो कह रहा हूँ ना कि तीसरा वोडाफोन है बस, जिसको भी सरकार ने पैसा देके बचाया है. नहीं तो खत्म ही था. वोडाफोन wanted to get out.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I also would like to add one. Sir, as we know, our country is country of land, but most of population is without land property because they are only working as a labor. अब बहुत से क्या है कि जमीन जो है लैंडलॉर्ड के पास है और अब लोग उस पर काम कर रहे हैं, तो अगर अभी सभी मांगे उनकी मान भी ली जाए तो उसमें जो लेबर फोर्स है सबसे ज्यादा इफेक्टेड होंगी, क्योंकि उनको तो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी के लिए पैसे लगा के सामान खरीदना पड़ता है। उनके पास न पैसे होते हैं, न वो 200-500 रुपए की मजदूरी करते हैं, उसी से वो काम चलाते हैं। तो कुछ सारी मांगे जो है वो तो ठीक भी हैं और कुछ उसमें प्रॉब्लम भी है सर। आई थिंक सो
साहब, मेजर मांग तो जो है एमएसपी की है। एमएसपी का एक्सप्लेनेशन आपको दिया तो
जी
उसे दे देने में तो फायदा ही है, और बाकी जो मांगे हैं वो तो ऐसी हैं जो कि बहुत ही जेन्युइन है। अब टेनी के बच्चे ने वो गाड़ी चढ़ा के मार दिया था, उन पे एक्शन नहीं हुआ अभी तक। ये जस्ट डिमांड नहीं है क्या?
यस सर,
ये तो वैसे ही करना ही चाहिए था।
जी सर,
ये भी तो डिमांड का हिस्सा ही है।
हाँ जी सर।
मतलब कुकर्मों पे एक्शन लेना भी एक डिमांड हो गई है, रिक्वेस्ट है। मतलब ये ऐसा है कि साहब आपकी यूनिट में कोई आपका हाथ तोड़ गया और आप जो है प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हो सीओ साहब से 2 साल के बाद के, साहब उसने मेरा हाथ तोड़ दिया था, कम से कम उसमें क्वार्टर गार्ड में तो डाल दो।
जी सर।
नहीं है कि नहीं ऐसी बात?
जी सर।
है कि वो हाथ तोड़ने वाला तो मजा ले रहा है। यस, एनीथिंग एल्स?